Hello, beautiful people. I hope all is well. I hope all is well. So this is my live weekly Q&A. My name is Alison. I am a certified dating and relationship coach, and I primarily work with singles to help them find the love and commitment that they deserve. Let me tell you my background. So I have a bachelor's degree in education, a master's degree in counseling, a master's degree extension in mental health counseling, and I am a certified dating and relationship coach. And that is not in an effort to boast, but it's in an effort to share with you guys my credentials so that when you're hearing my guidance, my advice, and my support, you know that it's coming from someone who at minimum is professionally trained and at maximum knows what they are doing. So again, if you are new to my page, every week I do this weekly live on Wednesdays at 12 noon Eastern for the summer. And my hours will be changing in about 2 weeks, but nonetheless, or I guess a week because it's already September, a week or two. And nonetheless, this is what I do every week. So how does it work? How it works is I put this story, it's this green story with my face like, what? Oh, not that one. This one. My face like, what? I put this story in my stories every Tuesday, and it allows folks to drop a question in anonymously, which I then come on live and answer anonymously. And we're going to jump right in because I have some errands to run today. But thank you, Danny, for joining the live stream. Brookie, Gina Bina, thank you for joining. Dayla for the love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. One Black Butterfly. Stephanie, thank you for purchasing a badge. I appreciate the support. Latrice, thank you for joining. And everybody else who is here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, beautiful people. We're going to jump right in. I am probably not going to have time to take questions in the queue. So as I said, if you need your love and relationship questions answered, you are going to go every Tuesday into my stories. It looks like this each and every time. You're going to drop your question in. I guarantee we'll answer your question if you put it in the stories. If you answer it in the comments, I will not answer because it's too much for me to scroll through, and I like organization. And if you put it in the queue, I will try my best, but I cannot promise that I will get to it. Okay. So let's get into this here. I got a lot of questions this week. First question: while dating, do you give honest answers or safe answers? While dating, do you give honest answers or safe answers? I forgot to add this tidbit. If you are joining the live for the first time, welcome. I'd like to hear from you. Please let me know who you are and where you are from so that I can welcome you to the land of love. Also, when I read the questions, this is not a one-way street. So I started with telling you guys what my credentials are, but it doesn't mean that what you have to say is invaluable. So I want to hear from you in the comments what your thoughts are, what your responses are, what you would do in this person's particular circumstance. So again, if you are new to the live, please let us know who you are, where you're from, so I can greet you. There's Denise from North Carolina. Thank you and welcome. So I can greet you to the land of love. That's right here. Right here is the land of love. Right here. And right here is the land of love. I want to welcome you. And then also I want to hear from you in regards to your thoughts. Welcome Simone from BA. Hairstyles by Eden's from ATL. Chris is from Virginia. Thank you, Chris. Smooth Brother is Randy J from New Jersey. And then welcome Henny Mo. All right. I used to be off on Wednesdays, but back in the office, sneaking to watch this live. Thank you, Busy Bee. I appreciate that. And in a week, so next week, I think will be the last Wednesday that I'm doing it at 12 noon. After that, I'll probably be doing it around 6. That's the intention. Welcome, I Love Hip Hop 88, my favorite hip hop page. If you know me, you know. Hip hop has my heart. All right. The question was, while dating, do you give honest answers or safe answers? So the way that I would answer this question is that you should answer questions honestly. Answer questions honestly. Oh, hi, Brittany from Georgia, Simone from Atlanta, Danielle from Be More. Be More. I'm about to be in Be More in like a year. Trust me. That's on my word. I would answer questions honestly, but not necessarily brutally honest, right? There's a way that you can be strategic. There's a way that you can be tactful in the way that you respond to someone's questioning. So as a New Yorker, and as someone with a Caribbean background, I usually tend to go for the jugular, right? Like it's a yes or a no and a why. However, especially for the ladies, you do not want to come across aggressive. Anybody doesn't want to come across angry. Nobody wants to be around an angry person, right? A negative Nancy or negative Nathan. And so the way that you respond, especially in text, is key. Because when you are reading text messages or messages in general, there's no body language. There's nothing to read. So you have to be mindful about answering questions as a hard yes or a hard no. You have to be mindful of the language that you use because it can be misconstrued when you're missing the body language, inflection, and things of that nature. So when dating, the question is, do you answer questions honestly or safely? You answer it honestly, but you can also answer it tactfully. You can have tact. You can be mindful of the way that you word things. I'm not a fan of throwing LOL at the end of phrases so you can soften the blow. But if your response in an honest way is can be considered problematic, can be considered as coming across as negative in some way, if you want to throw a LOL or an emoji at the end just to give your response some level of context, I would do that. Really what I would do is be strategic about the words that I use, because I really hate when people throw LOL at the end of every sentence. But if that's a necessity for you to soften the blow, then do that. So yes, you should answer every question honestly. That doesn't mean you need to be brutally honest. You can be tactful in your response. You can be mindful of the words that you use. If you're texting, you can add emojis, which will further assist in delivering your message in a way that is your intention of how you want it to be delivered. But you should be honest. But you can be tactful at the same time. And trust me, again, Caribbean background, New Yorker, Brooklynite, I'm working on tact every day. Every day I'm working on tact. So it's not something that just may come naturally for you, depending on your environment. But it's something that you should work on, because if you are interested in this person in any kind of romantic way, you don't want to turn them off. And if you're interested in this person in any kind of romantic way, you don't want to anger them or frustrate them or annoy them by answering something in a way that could be perceived by others as negative. So when dating, answer questions honestly, but you can be strategic or you can be tactful in the way that you respond, depending on the words that you use. And if you're texting, using emojis or something like that to soften the blow. All right. But that's an excellent question. Thank you. Next question. Ooh, this one's a goodie. Can you date a man who is a sex addict and has a past of cheating? Can they change? Can you date a man who is a sex addict and has a past of cheating? Can they change? All right, so I don't know if this is a typo, right? But you said that he is a sex addict, right? And I don't know if that's also like, once an addict, always an addict kind of language. But if anyone actively identifies as an addict of anything, right, I would be very mindful about dating them. I probably would not. And I know that's not a nice response, right? Like, people go through things. You're a former drug addict. You're a former alcoholic. You're a former gambling addict. You're a former sex addict. Me, I would not sign up to date anyone who was a former addict of anything, right? If they're an active addict, absolutely not. Addiction destroys lives. Any form of addiction, right? And especially with a sex addiction, the expectation is now I become your permanent porno star. Like, if that's not my desire, then that's just something that I would not be able. I don't even think that their desires can be quenched, right? Like, I'd have to quit my job to fulfill that. Like, I have to be home all day and all night. It's not going to work. So I see someone who says, Danny says, if you have a low sex drive, the answer is no. That's a good point, Danny. But a sex addict, I don't even think could be fulfilled with someone else who has a high sex drive. Like, they're constantly going after it. So for me, I would not advise anyone. And again, I know that this isn't nice because we should give people chances and blah, blah, blah. I'm not dating anyone who's a former addict of anything. And then a sex addict would mean that, one, they would demand it from me. I would be the source, right? Compared to a drug addict where the drug dealer is the source, or a gambling addict where the gambling website is the source. I'm the source. sex is also different from any other addiction because the expectation is that you are actively involved in it. Like, I can say no to alcohol for the rest of my life, and that's normal. I'm not even a drinker like that. I can never gamble. I'm not a gambler like that. I don't use drugs. So saying no to those things are pretty normal. I mean, alcohol maybe a little, but it's pretty normal. Swearing off sex for the rest of your life is impractical. So for a sex addict, it's a very delicate balance of being an active human being, sexual being, at the same time not bringing it to the point of addiction where it negatively impacts your life. That is way too complicated for me, for somebody that I'm dating. Now, if we already are in love and they develop this addiction over time, then that's something I can work through with counseling, with therapy, with rehab. But I'm not signing up to be with someone who is addicted to anything. That's just, so I would highly recommend a no. Can people change? Yes. I do believe people can change. I don't believe once a cheater, always a cheater, in regards to the second part of your question, that he's cheated in the past, can they change? I do believe that people can change. I think you can change anything that you want in your life if you've made a decision that you want to change it. You want to change your weight. You want to change your finances. You want to change your religious beliefs. Anything. You want to grow your edges. Anything that you want to change your hairline. It is 2021. Anything that you want to change, you have the ability to change once you've made the decision that this is what you are going to do unequivocally. If you've made a decision unequivocally that you are going to change, you will. However, for me, based on this question here, can you date a man who is a sex addict and has a past of cheating? Can they change? Can they? Yes. Am I going to go above and beyond to overextend myself to a person I don't even know like that, in the hopes that they get the help that they need, in the hopes that they're not, and then like sex addicts are doing it with everybody, everywhere, anytime. That's super dangerous for me in my life. I'm not signing up for that. That would be a hard no for me. Para mí, no. Next question. Should I continue to date someone who stated he was ready for a relationship and now lost his job? Should I continue to date someone who stated he was ready for a relationship and now lost his job? So I am going to be the bitch and say no. Here goes Alison being exposed as the meanie, right? Two answers of a no. If I am involved in a romantic relationship with someone and they lost their job, I absolutely would not leave them. If I was married, which I am, if I was married, but my husband ain't losing his job. If I was someone who was married to their partner and their partner lost their job, would I stay with them? Absolutely. I would help them find another job. We would grind out, get the resumes together, apply. I'm on one site, he's on another site, and we're going to get a better job than the job who had the audacity to leave him, or he decided it wasn't appropriate and left their ass, and I'm glad and I'm proud of him and we moving on. Am I signing up to be with someone who is unemployed? That means I don't love you. Am I signing up for a struggle? Not me. Now, I don't know if there are mitigating circumstances here. Is he unemployed, but he's getting a severance? That's 6 months of salary. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what the mitigating circumstances are. Does he have other streams, like other revenue streams, right? Does he have an Airbnb where he's getting more money? So his job let him go, or he left his job, or whatever the circumstances are, but there's other streams of income. Mitigating circumstances. But just the way that it is, if he has one stream of income and he is unemployed, I think anyone, man, woman, damn near child, because I've been working since the age of 14, who's unemployed needs to worry about their employment first before they worry about love, relationships, building, dating. That is my mantra, period. And I'll say it again, this is not a sexist thing. Anyone who is unemployed, right, has absolutely no stream of income other than unemployment, which can get cut at the president's whim, is unemployed, needs to worry about their employment before they worry about romantic relationships. In my view, you have a romantic relationship with someone who is solid. So two solid human beings are coming together to build a life together. You need to sort your life out before you try to venture out and build it up with somebody else. Now, it doesn't mean that you're not actively working to build towards something together. You should be actively working to building something together, right? But I am my whole self. My employment is stable. I am healthy mentally and physically. So is my husband. And before he was my husband, we became engaged. We are now married, and now we are building things together. We bought a house together. We started a business together, right? That is the vision that I have for you. That is the vision, because it's the vision I had for me. I did not get into this relationship unemployed, right? Maybe I might have gotten into a relationship where credit is questionable. You could work on that. Maybe you get into a relationship where your debt is significant. You could work on that. But the only way that I could work on those more menial things is having income. Everyone should be employed or having some version of significant income, right? Like a business that's doing well, before they involve themselves and engage with someone else. Build you, then you can build up with others. And again, that's my vision for men, women, and teenage children. Work, pay your own phone bill, buy your own sneakers, alleviate some of the pressures of your parents. Like everyone, if you can work, right? To the point where, you're not exhausted and all that kind of stuff. But you get my point. Danny says, is he stable? What's his credentials or background? Is it easy for him to get a new gig? That's mitigating circumstances, right? Like, we can have a conversation, but for the most part, you need to get it together, man, woman, or teenage child. Get a job. Get off of Bumble and get on Indeed and get a job. Again, unless you are an entrepreneur who's making money off your business, and then kudos to you. Mitigating circumstances. Relatively speaking, I'm not signing up for struggle. I'm in a relationship. We're in love. Struggle happens. We work it through. I'm not signing up for the struggle bus. Okay. Next question. Is focusing on your significant other's wrongs over rights causing more breakups? Is focusing on your significant other's wrongs over rights causing more breakups? I think so. I think if someone is focused on the negative, it's going to cause a lot of their relationships to be destroyed. You focus on the negatives of your job, it's going to cause you to quit. And you focus on the negatives of anything, you're not focusing on the positives. However, in my French accent, right? We need to weigh the pros and the cons, right? 80-20. Jihad and I would strongly disagree with you. I think women take a lot of BS and they should leave a lot faster than what they tend to do. But we could talk about that another time. I.e. side babies, i.e. lots of cheating and constant forgiveness. So I would disagree with that. But I think that we need to exactly... Thank you, Jay Rui. That's what I was going to say. It depends on do the wrongs outweigh the rights. When I watched the movie How Did I Get Married, 10 years ago, so I was in my 20s at the time, when they talked about the 80-20 rule, that really stuck with me. Like, you got to look at the 80-20 rule. If 50% of the time I'm unhappy, that's not good enough for me that 50% of the time I'm happy. Like, I should not be living a life of 50-50. I'm very comfortable of living a life of 80-20. Very comfortable with that. 80% of the time I'm happy. 20% of the time I'm not that happy. 80% of the time we're good. 20% of the time and less, we aren't that great. Not abusive, right? But maybe just angry or annoyed with each other. I am okay with that. So I have accepted for my life 80-20, which is usually better than 80-20. Usually like 90-10. But I'm okay with 80-20 because there are going to be times when we go through rough, right? But we're married for 10 years and 8 of those years are good and 2 of those years are questionable. And again, not abusive, but annoyance, disagreements. I am okay with that. So to answer the question, is focusing on your significant wrongs over rights causing breakups? Yes. But do the wrongs outweigh the rights? If the wrongs are more problematic than the rights or more consistent than the rights, then yeah, it should cause a breakup because clearly you're not happy together and you're wasting each other's time. And it doesn't mean that what someone is doing wrong for you makes it wrong in general. Sometimes it's obvious, right? Like sometimes it's like cheating. Sometimes it's lying. Sometimes it's verbal abuse, physical abuse. Like, obviously that's wrong for anybody, but maybe their wrong is just not right for you and would be perfect for somebody else. And perhaps you are wasting your time dealing with someone whose wrong is just wrong for you. And then you mad at them for being themselves, and their themselves is acceptable, but just to somebody else. And if you think that you're annoyed with your partner, you don't think your partner is annoyed with you? Even if they're the one who's quote unquote doing wrong, they're annoyed with you too. Who's right or wrong in that instance is up for debate. We don't know every circumstance, but yes, focusing on the wrongs will get you broken up with, or doing the breaking up. But perhaps focusing on the wrongs is a necessity to do the breaking up so that you know when to move on. When this relationship isn't serving you, it doesn't make the other person bad. It doesn't make you bad. It means that we two together are not an appropriate match, and it is okay to move on. It's best to move on before it develops into the lying, the cheating, the abuse, right? You got to make a judgment call and move on accordingly. I saw someone who asked me to answer the question in the question bar. I will try. I started the live by saying and explaining how it all works. So if you are just joining, my name is Alison. I am a certified dating and relationship coach. I primarily, but not exclusively, work with singles to help them find the love and commitment that they deserve through master classes and coaching programs. I do this free live Q&A every Wednesday to serve the community so that you guys can get some professional assistance for those who are unwilling or unable to invest in yourself. You need to invest in yourself. However, you're not prepared to. This is what I do. I'm offering free advice here. The way that it works is that I have this question. It's a green box that comes up that comes up every Tuesday. I put it in my stories. You drop your question in there. If the text is too long, figure out how to fit it in there. If it's still too long, that means you need to book a paid call, because that means I need context in order to help you. I get to every question that's asked of me in advance, so it's up for 24 hours. I will try my best to get to the ones that are in the queue. Today is not that day, so I'm really sorry, but you can hold on to your question and ask me next week, or you can book a paid call for tomorrow, and we can get down to it either 30 minutes or an hour, your choice, depending on your needs and your budget. All right, so let's keep going. Do women know what men that have themselves together want? Do women know that men who have themselves together, well, what he meant to say is, do women know what men want for the men who have themselves together? I'm going to answer this question. And I know I post a lot of stuff like this. And I usually just write thoughts because my thoughts are long and I actually don't feel like typing them out. I don't think that any one man, even the group of men who have it together, whatever that might mean for them, and by the way, having it together doesn't mean the same thing for every man, versus men who don't. I don't think any singular man wants any one thing. So I'll answer your question quickly and I'll say no. Just like Jay Haddon says, just like O'Danny says, right? I'll say no. But I don't think it's for the same reasons that you all are saying it, perhaps. Or I don't think it's for the same reason that you may be interpreting my no. My no is that every man doesn't want the same thing. I think that pigeonholing men or pigeonholing women into one group when there are billions of us each is impractical and will not get you the results that you're looking for. There's this ideology about what the high value man wants, which is basically what the person who has it all together. What the high value man wants. He wants a woman who shuts up and sits in the back seat and allows him to take a wheel, and doesn't want a ghetto chick, and doesn't want the fake body, and doesn't want the fake hair, and doesn't want the fake nails, and just wants someone who's cooperative and blah, blah. I think that's being presumptuous. There are plenty of high quality men who probably do want chicks with their body done. Don't mind a good weave. By the way, this is a good weave, which is shorter, significantly shorter than my own hair, okay, by the way, and looks damn good, and it's like 2 weeks old. Some dudes like girls who have long nails. Some dudes don't care about girls who have long nails. They don't care about lashes. They like makeup if it's done, if it's not done. Some guys like a feisty chick, right? We talk a lot about Latina girls being spicy. And when Latina girls are spicy, it's spicy. And when black girls are spicy, I should say women. When Latino women are spicy, they're spicy. When black women are spicy, they're ghetto, they're loud, and they're obnoxious. Or is it that Latina women have the physique of black women, but the features of European women, which is a societal best of both worlds, in terms of beauty standards. And so when they're spicy, it's cute. But when black women are spicy, it's loud, obnoxious, and ghetto. My point is that to assume that all men who are quote unquote high value or all women who are quote unquote high value all want the same things is a silly approach. Which is why when I post that stuff, I posted one just yesterday about what high value men want. My caption was thoughts. Because I think it's impractical for any one person, even I don't know who studies human behavior, psychologist, even a psychologist could not say that millions of men all want this. Millions of women all want that. That's impractical. We can't say that. There are going to be some quote unquote high value men who want women who take the lead and make decisions and they want to be dominated. Y'all never heard of a dominatrix? Some men like to be dominated. Some men want to take the lead. Some men want an equally yoked partner where we're doing this together. And the same thing for women. So I don't think there's any hard and fast answer to say, oh, and what is popular online, all high value men want a woman who's going to allow him to take the lead and she's going to be cooperative. I think all people probably want, for the most part, anyone who's cooperative. Cooperative is easy. High value, low value, middle value, figuring it out, 20, 40, or 70 years old. Man, woman, not child. Point being, they want a woman who's going to keep quiet, sit in the back. You can't say that. Like, there's going to be a variety on what people want because there's a variety in people. There's going to be a variety in what people value because there's a variety of values, and cultures and ages and experiences. So that ideology, I think, is foolish. I think it depends on the human being. That's what's so beautiful about dating. Dating can be fun if you're doing it right. If you need help to learn how to date, there are 2 ways that you can learn through me. You can learn through my masterclass, which is $37. Click the link on my bio, tap the 5th button. You can learn by booking a one-on-one with me, which is $75 for 30 minutes. For now, price is going up. Or we could do a coaching program that starts at $800. Emphasis on starts. If you want to learn how to date successfully, because dating can and should be fun. Dating is a process. Dating is a process. So you're getting to know what you like, what they like, and finding the two. There are no hard and fast answers. Sorry, y'all. I got 20% on my phone. This is what men want. This is what men want. This is what men want. This is what women want. There are no hard and fast answers to that. This is what I want. I'm looking for a gentleman who complements that. For the men, this is who I am. These are my values. These are my life goals. I want a woman who we can build an empire together. I want a woman who's going to be agreeable and go with whatever I want. I want a woman who's going to take care of me. Whatever you want is your right once you're upfront and honest about what you want. There are different people who have different values, who have different goals, who have different desires, who have different cultures, who have different experiences. There's no hard and fast answer. For the most part. As I said, this is why I usually write in my caption thoughts, because my thoughts will go forever and I'm not typing all that. For the most part. Of course, there are exceptions for every rule. Okay. Ooh, let me stop for a second and thank those who purchased a badge. Neves, thank you for purchasing a badge. Japa Black, thank you for purchasing a badge. Joe, I appreciate you. Thank you. Oh gosh, I'm gonna get this wrong. Afristotle, haha, I got it right. Thank you for purchasing a badge. And Vaniqua, is it Vaniqua? I hope so. Vaniqua, thank you for purchasing a badge. All right, next question. When do you think is the right time to get back into dating after taking time to heal? When do you think is the right time to get back into dating after taking time to heal? I would say as soon as you feel ready. I know that's a BS answer. No one likes that. Y'all always asking me these questions that don't have hard and fast answers. I cannot tell you 2 weeks. I cannot tell you 2 months. I can tell you if it's 2 years, you need to go to therapy, or hire a dating and relationship coach, or hire a counselor, or hire someone. But there's no hard and fast answer. If you feel as though you're healed, as indicated by the question, after taking time to heal, then you're ready. Jump right in. Let's go. And if your healing process took you 2 months, or it took you 2 weeks, or it took you 2 days, it's your process, and no one can tell you that something is too fast or too slow. I did have someone ask me when should they start dating after their husband died, and it was like a few weeks, and I'm like, whoa there, right? Like, okay, death, husbands, wives. Let's put some months into this, right? But if you feel healed, that means you are prepared. You need to jump back into the pool. You need to jump back in. And this is not scare tactics, but this is practicality. Every day that passes, someone else is getting involved in a romantic relationship. Somebody else is getting married. Somebody else is having a baby. I don't believe in a soulmate. I think there are lots of people who are out there who are a perfect match for you. So it doesn't mean that, oh my God, my husband is already married to somebody else. My future husband in my head is already married to somebody else. It's over. But that's one less person who could have been a great match for you. Stop wasting time. Stop wasting time. And I know that I spoke about being solid, financially secure, man, woman, child. I believe that you need to be employed, but you don't have to be perfect. I believe you need to be working on yourself, but you don't have to be perfect. You're never going to be perfect. So I'm talking right now to anyone who is listening to me now, the 51 who are on the live actively, and the 1,000 who are going to listen thereafter. No one is perfect. You're never going to be perfect. You're going to die imperfect. So waiting for every duck to be in a row is impractical. I saw somewhere on Instagram the other day that says, when's the last time you saw all ducks in a row? Hardly. Ducks don't even get in a row, and that's their thing. So the expectation that I have to have my degree and I have to have all of these things organized and I have to have my house and I have to before I start dating, you're wasting time. You're losing out on potential amazing mates. You are aging yourself, which for women, and this is the truth, is making dating that much more difficult. Not impossible. People find love at 40, 50, 60 all the time. But it does complicate things for you, right? Stop wasting time. As soon as you feel emotionally prepared and you're actively working on yourself to become a better version of you is when you need to get back into the pool. And if you don't know how to navigate it, you can go the cheap route and YouTube it. You can hire a coach. You can take a class. You can do whatever you need to do, but do some level of research before jumping into anything. Anything. I don't do anything without going to YouTube University first. And if YouTube University does not give me the response I'm looking for, then I'm looking to hire out because I'm not wasting my time on something that I clearly do not have an answer for. If I don't know how to do it, I'm Googling it. And then if Google doesn't give me the response that I want, you know, when you Google something and you still can't, like, you're not using the right words, you're not getting the right response, or if it's not working for me, I'm going to hire somebody to do it. Some things, I'm not even going on YouTube because I'm not electrocuting myself. So guess what? I'm going to get on Handy. And if my husband's unavailable or he's busy doing other tasks, then we're going to outsource. Outsourcing is key. That's what's going to save you time, money, effort, and energy. Okay? I don't remember what the question was, but yeah. As soon as you feel healed, get back in. Get back in, get back in, get back in. All right. What should you say? This is a good one. I cover this all the time with my clients. What should you say on an app so men are aware you want a serious relationship? What should you say on the apps so men are aware you want a serious relationship? Let me tell you what you should say. You should say, I want a serious relationship. Drops mic. Drops mic. You need to be forthcoming about what you want. Do not say, I want to go with the flow. Let me plug up my phone now because then it's going to do the same foolishness again. Do not say, I'm looking for friendship. Do not say, I want to go with the flow. Do not say, let's see where things go. My intention is a serious relationship. Obviously, we're going to have to see where things go. That's a given. Oh, I'm looking for a friendship and see what develops. Obvious, that's what dating. I'm not going to meet you on the app and say you're my boyfriend now. So obviously, it's going to be we are friendly, flirting, having conversations, getting to know each other, building a friendship, going out on dates. Now we're dating. And then at some point, depending on the couple, the age, and all that kind of stuff, we then decide to get a committed relationship where we're not seeing anyone else. We delete the apps, we're not seeing anybody else. Then perhaps it moves on to engagement and marriage if that's what you both desire. Say that. Oh, see, y'all been listening to me? I think so. Because somebody just said, you'll only scare away the men that's not meant for you. You will only scare away the people who are not meant for you, who don't want the same things that you want. That's exactly what you want. You want to eliminate people who do not want the same things as you. If, speaking from a woman's perspective, if this guy has common sense and he reads that you want a committed relationship, right? Obviously, you have to build towards that. We're not getting on the app and then you become my man because you said hello. So yes, it's, I want to see where things, well, good luck. Go build with somebody else. This is my intent. Of course we have to go through a process. Of course we have to see if we're a good match. Of course we have to see if there's chemistry, romantically, sexually. That's over time. But what I'm looking for is a serious relationship that may lead to marriage. That is my desire. All I'm doing is sharing my desire and seeing if you are on the same boat. If this person doesn't want that, good. My husband likes when I say this. Good. Eliminate themselves. They don't hit you up. I would much rather have appropriate matches that are 3 and 4 in my inbox than 70, because of my good looks and my charm, 70 of them who are there because of my good looks and my charm, and then when we get to talking, they don't want the same things I want. You want kids? Put that on the profile. You don't want kids? Put that on the profile. You have kids? Put that on the profile. Stop wasting people's time. Stop trying to manipulate people into seeing, oh, well, if I don't write that, then I'm going to turn them off. So let me get to know them first and then spring it on them. No, you're wasting their time. You're wasting your time. And I led with you're wasting their time. Please note that. I led with that because the world doesn't revolve around you. Stop manipulating people by not putting what you want, roping them in with your good looks and your cute responses. And then it's, oh, yeah, well, actually, I'm looking for marriage. Put that. Put what you want. I tell people don't put what you don't want. You put what you want. You want to be a positive poly, right? But don't waste your time. Don't waste other people's time, please. Because, yes, it's a waste of their time, too. And it's not nice. You know what you want? Tell them. Let them keep swiping. And it's okay. That means they're not an appropriate match for you. Why would you want to go on a couple of dates with a guy that doesn't want what you want? So you could keep wasting your time and then say, oh, these dudes ain't ish. You ain't ish because you wasting their time by not being upfront. They don't want commitment. Yeah, because you didn't say that you wanted it. So yeah, you got 70 guys that's in your inbox. So a lot of these guys probably don't want commitment, and that's their right. They have a right to not want to commit. They have a right to not want kids. They have a right to want kids. They have a right to live on a boat. They have a right to live in their mama's basement. They got a right to live in a house. It is their right. It is their life. You are setting yourself up for failure when you don't tell people what your intentions are in the beginning, and then you want to blame and say all of them ain't. All of them ain't ish. No. You roping in. And I was going to say garbage, but they're not garbage. They want what they want. That's their right. But you're roping in people who are undesirable to you. You're attracting people who are undesirable to you because you're not being forthcoming with what you want. And then you're surprised and say that none of these guys want. Yeah, you're right. 64 of them didn't because you didn't say what you wanted. But the 6 that would have hit you up, which may be a hit to your ego because you're accustomed to getting all this attention. But the 6 that hit you up, 4 of them want the same things. The other 2 just didn't read the profile. I'd much rather targeted than untargeted. That's the nature of the game, okay? Megan says, a guy told my cousin mockingly, so you're trying to be a wife? And she responded, embarrassed that she wasn't. I told her, no, yes, you are. Stop letting these dudes trying to make you ashamed of that. Yeah, I'm not going to be ashamed. I'm telling you exactly what I want. If you don't want it, it's okay. It is your right to want whatever you want for your life. I know what I want for my life. When I'm asking questions, or when I tell my clients to ask questions around dating, relationships, marriage, children, I'm not asking if you want to marry me. I'm asking, do you believe in marriage? Do you have a desire for marriage? I just met you. Obviously, I'm not dropping out on one knee and I'm asking for your hand in marriage. That's obvious. I'm asking you, what is your intention for your life? There's some people who just don't believe in marriage, and that is okay. I'm going to find that out early and often so that I don't break my own heart by harping on some guy. 6 months later, I asked him about marriage. He said, nah, I'm good. Whose fault is that? Yours. Regal Courtier 7 says, it's giving lack of accountability though, because that's not always true. Tell me, I'm sorry, I need more context. What's not always true? Just said that. Sometimes the answer in the question, just answer the question. Like, it's okay. There's no shame in that. And yes, you will deter a lot of people. And that's what you want. I want to deter anyone who's not an appropriate match to me. I'm not wasting my time having these menial, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite color? How many siblings do you have? Like, I don't want to have those conversations with people who at least at minimum don't want the same things that I want. Then we got to see if we're a personality match. That comes along it, right? But, and all that other stuff, chemistry. But at minimum, if you don't want the basic things that I want out of my life, then great. I'm so glad we didn't waste each other's time. Question. How long did you wait to become exclusive? Or how long do you wait to become exclusive with the person you're dating? How long do you wait to become exclusive with the person that you are dating? This is another one that's not a hard or fast. I can't give you a hard or fast answer, right? For some people, it might be a couple of weeks. For some people, it might be a couple of months. So even though I don't like answering questions in the negative, I'm going to answer it in the negative. What I will say is, for me, if I was dating someone for 6 months and I want to be with them exclusively and they don't want to be with me exclusively yet, I would keep it moving. Now, I'm going to be 35 in 27 days. Somebody who's 25 may think that 6 months is not enough time for them. They might want to give someone else some more time to figure it out. For me, I would not wait more than 6 months if I want to be with them, right? Like, presuming that I want to be with them, and I wouldn't be dating them actively for 6 months if I didn't want to be with them, right? I'm not wasting anybody's time. We just talked about this. But for me, anything more than 6 months for anyone who's in my relative age range, that's a dub. Like, in 6 months of spending quality time with me, you haven't figured out that I'm the person that you want to commit to. And I'm not talking about engagement. I'm just talking about not seeing other people. Like, I am the most valuable woman that's on your roster. You haven't decided that in 6 months. If you haven't decided that in 6 months, then I'm not the most valuable person on your roster, which is okay. And so I'm going to continue building my roster. And it is okay. Like, we got to start accepting rejection, men and women. Men are kind of more built for it, right? Like, they've been socialized to accept rejection. Women have not, because we're not the ones who are the pursuers usually. So ergo, we haven't been trained on how to accept rejection as well as men generally. However, it is okay to be rejected. When you are rejected, that is a gift. It is a gift to be rejected, because you are saving me more time, effort, and energy into someone who does not want to be with me. So please leave me if you don't want me. Please do not communicate with me. Do not waste my time. Let me know how you feel so that I can move on appropriately. I can get over this as quickly as possible and then start dating someone else again. Please do me that favor. People are selfish. They don't want to let go. They want to have their cake and eat it too, even though I hate that expression. They want to have their cake. They want to eat it too. And so they don't want to let go. But please let me go so that I can find someone who's a better match for me. And I would say so I can find bigger and better, because, I mean, they are going to be bigger and better, but a more appropriate match. Someone who wants the same things as me. Someone who wants me as intensely as I want them. Please, just let it go. Okay? Okay. I think, oh no, we got 2 more questions and I really got to run, y'all. I love y'all, but I got to go. Again, if you are joining late, my name is Alison. I'm a certified dating and relationship coach. I primarily, but not exclusively, work with singles to help them find the love and commitment they deserve through masterclasses and coaching programs. I currently have a masterclass on sale, 66% off, called Dating 101. It's 3 hours of gems. You can click the link in my bio, scroll to the 5th button, and you can purchase that. I also have coaching programs, both group and individual. The pricing now, which is subject to change, starts at $800. So go ahead and click the link in my bio if you're interested in that. And you can click on the second button, which is to book a call with me. And then we can talk about how I can help you get back on track. Okay. Again, subject to change. So if there's anybody who's listening to this live tomorrow, subject to change. What did Fat Joe say? I'm not going to say it because it's my favorite expression, but y'all know what he said, okay? Tab says, exactly, someone who's suitable for you. Suitable for you. 2 more questions. Do I reach out if I haven't heard from him in 1 to 2 days? We just started talking on Bumble. Yes, it's 2 days. Y'all just started talking. That's right. That's right. It's 1 to 2 days. Maybe 3 days by now because this was submitted yesterday. Say, hey, what's up? Everything all right? Y'all just started talking. He doesn't owe you anything. He doesn't owe you anything. So you can say, hey, what's up? How are you? It's 1 to 2 days. It will not kill you. Now, you reached out after 1 to 2 days. There's no response. And this person has the audacity to respond 2 weeks later, a week later. You can kiss my behind. Because we all have our cell phones in our hands. It should not take you a week to respond. Unless somebody's died, it should not take you a week to respond. It's 1 to 2 days. You can say hello. You can say what's up. You can say how are you. Y'all just started talking. He doesn't owe you a response, okay? And this is the last question. Can you break down non-negotiables versus compromises deeper? Can you break down non-negotiables versus compromises deeper? So a non-negotiable is exactly that. There's no negotiation. So what I teach my clients, and I'm teaching you guys now for the free, is you need to come up with a list of 5 to 6 non-negotiable traits that a partner must have in order for you to be with them. What are the 5 to 6 things that they have to have and be about, right? Their personality, their character, their behavior, physique, if that's a must for you. 5 to 6 things that they must have. It's a non-negotiable. It's a non-starter, right? So that means that if they are asking, if you are asking this of these people, not asking, that is a requirement. You know these things that are on the list. What's on my list doesn't have to be on your list. Everyone's different. We already established that. So whatever you decide, I cannot date someone unless they are blank, 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 and blank. 6 things. When you begin to have communication with someone that you meet, you're going to ask questions around those non-negotiables. That's going to help you decide whether or not they have it or they don't have it. Now, this is not 100%. People can lie. People can be deceitful. That's why you have to be strategic with the way that you ask those questions. That's what I teach in my coaching program. So a part of my coaching program is Dating 101, right? And so within Dating 101, I'm teaching you what questions to ask. So that's going to be for the paid 99, right? Specifically what questions to ask so that the other person isn't aware that what you're really doing is vetting them. What you're really doing is interviewing them. You're doing it naturally, right? You're doing softly. People don't even realize it, but that's what you're doing. And you are figuring out whether or not they have their non-negotiables. A non-negotiable is just that. If they don't have it, it's a non-starter. You're moving on. You're not going to a second date. You're not continuing conversation because they don't have what you have decided are non-negotiables, right? Compromises are the things that you would desire, but they're not non-negotiables. They're negotiable. You may desire that this woman is curvy, but she doesn't have to be, right? It's not going to make or break your decision whether or not you date her. A woman might decide that a non-negotiable is that he cooks. If he does not cook, it's not happening. Or another woman might decide that cooking is a desire, and if he can't cook, it's not the end. It would be a great plus. So non-negotiables you do not move from. They are a must for you, right? Compromising is just that. It's something that you're willing to compromise on. It will not make or break your decision. Now, whether or not you want to determine if your non-negotiables should be something that you compromise, if the things that you are willing to compromise should be non-negotiables, you need to be a part of my coaching program. Click the link in my bio.